Alrighty folks, hello there. This is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic the Gathering Arena Draft video. So my goal for this month, this new season, is to reach top 10 Mythic. And I've done this before in the past. Currently, right now, I think we're rank 1, rank 2 Platinum right now. So let's give this a shot and see how it goes. And I might start making more lengthier videos, maybe around 4 hours, featuring like maybe 2 drafts in a single video. But this is still going to be, I think, a one draft video, and hopefully I can get to 7 with this. Alrighty then. Pack 1, pick 1, Strixhaven Premier Draft. Racing to top 10 Mythic, we opened up a busted rare. We're not going to talk about it. It's just one of the best rares you can open. Another great uncommon you can open is Rutha. Definitely very powerful. You can splash this in a Quandrix deck and just duplicate your tokens in the late game. It's quite insane. There's a shock in this pack, Field Trip, Rise of Exodus, Elemental Summoning, lots of great cards. If Sparring Regiment was in this pack, I think Rutha would be pretty close with Rise of Exodus and Field Trip. Rise of Exodus and Field Trip. Typically speaking, Rutha doesn't fit in every deck, but if you can set yourself up in a very nice controlling Prismari or a Quandrix deck, splashing red, Rutha can be quite a bomb. But I think it's just an easy Sparring Regiment here, and we can set up a nice white aggressive deck. After first picking Sparring Regiment, we can lean towards Silverquill by taking Flunk as the best card out of this pack. Basic Conjuration is also a nice lesson if you're in green. Sign in Blood is okay. No amazing cards in white. Lorehold Pledge Mage is okay, but definitely not the same power level as Flunk, so maybe we end up Silverquill aggro, where most aggro decks tend to be. And now we do see some interesting cards here. Heated Debate pretty late. Pick 3, I mean. Mage Hunter's Onslaught as a good removal spell, Burying Books, and Practical Research. But I think I'm liking the Inkling Summoning token here. It's just a nice lesson we can learn up with the Sparring Regiment, and they just both fit together really nicely. I also don't mind one copy of Mage Hunter's Onslaught in these types of decks, but usually I don't want multiple copies, since at 4 it can get pretty crowded and expensive. Usually in an aggressive deck you want more threats than removal spells, and 4 mana does get a little bit clunky, but hopefully I can pick up one of these later. But for now, I think we'll just take an Inkling Summoning following up the Flunk and the Sparring Regiment. It seems like we're setting up for a nice Silverquill aggro deck. Twitch is perfect. Nice one drop that can help you learn, especially great if you can put counters onto it. Also a big fan of Expanded Anatomy in the Silverquill aggro decks. This would be my second pick out of this pack if it wasn't for Twitch. Another great lesson you can learn. Hopefully we can pick up one of these later. But Study Break would also be fine. Same with Arrogant Poets. I think we just take the Twitch as an excellent one drop that can help us learn. Here is Lash of Malice. I think I like Lash over Introduction to Annihilation. Defiant Strike could also be a cheap way to enable Magecraft in Silverquill aggro. The 5-drops are okay. You can always play one copy of Essence Infusion, but it's not a priority. Thing is, I think we take Lash of Malice as a nice black shock removal spell. Usually in this set, most of the removal spell starts at 3 mana, but if you have a card like Shock or Lash of Malice, it can be pretty crucial in dealing with early 2-drops against opposing opponents, or early 1-drops that can get out of hand if they decide to enhance it right immediately. So I think Lash is definitely one of the more important commons to have, at least in a Silverquill deck. We could still somehow end up in Witherbloom splashing white, but I'd rather just play straight up Lorehold at the end of the day. Speaking of Witherbloom, there is a Blackish Trudge as a fine 3-drop. Also don't mind Study Break as another way to learn. Currently we only have one lesson, 2 ways to learn. Like, usually, even if you don't have a lot of life gain synergy in Silverquill, the Blackish Trudge is still a pretty reasonable 3-drop. It can hit pretty hard, and if you do have a bit of life gain synergy, you can just bring it back. It's not going to be as heavily emphasized as it would be in Witherbloom, but there's still some life gain going around in Silverquill, especially if you pick up some Leech Fanatics. And this is a pretty good 3-drop, so I'll take it here. Okay, Spectre Fens gives us a fine 4-drop. Nothing else exciting in this pack. Best card is like Academic Dispute, which is definitely a sleeper. People have been passing this card up, and I wonder why. It's just so good. forcing an opponent to block, and then learning is just really efficient. Definitely a card that most people undervalue. And here there's a Rip Apart as a best card, but I actually don't mind a Show of Confidence. If we're setting up to be Silverquill, this card can be quite strong, especially with more cheap spells like Professor's Warning, Lash of Malice, and even things like Guiding Voice. Just being able to even duplicate this once or twice is quite strong, so I don't actually mind taking this over Rip Apart. I don't think we need to really splash in a straight up Silverquill aggro deck that we're setting up, so let's take a Show of Confidence. Okay, this pack sucks. Hopefully I don't have to play Stonerise Spirit, but if I don't pick up any 2s, this could be an okay filler card. And we'll take a Leech Fanatic, has life gain synergy, decent 2-drop in the Silverquill aggro decks. Also wouldn't mind 1 copy of Exhilarating Elocution. Usually in the aggressive decks you don't mind like 1 copy of the Inspired Charge Anthem effects. Okay, nothing here. Let's just move on. And the Study Break, awesome. So Silverquill does seem very open. Happy first picking Sparring Regiment, and now we're setting up for a nice black-white aggressive deck. But I would love to pick up some lessons as well. And Defiant Strike plays really nicely with Show of Confidence. Hopefully we pick up more Magecraft payoffs. We have the enablers, but we just need the payoffs. But this should be a fairly easy draft, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get 7 wins. But in the future, I think I'll be making longer content videos, usually around 4 hours, featuring at least 1 or 2 drafts. And if the drafts are really quick, I can just squeeze in the 3rd draft if possible. This pack, we have Umbrojuke, Silverquill Apprentice, and Rise of Exodus, which are all very excellent. I usually like at least 1 or 2 copies of Rise of Exodus in my Silverquill aggro decks. Just great solid removal in the late game, and also allows you to learn, which is very potent. Otherwise, I think I would take the 2-drop over Umbrojuke here. Pack 1, pick 1. I think Rise of Exodus is by far the best card in this pack, and just goes in multiple decks. Just very efficient at 6 mana, exiling and just learning. So let's take a Rise of Exodus. Ooh, Sedgemoor Witch is a bomb. This card is fantastic in both Silverquill and Witherbloom. Of course, the Pest is mostly related to Witherbloom, but I mean, this is just a 3-mana 3/2 menace that can just generate 1/1s and just get out of hand. Definitely the pick here. And we do have a lot of cheap ways to enable Magecraft with Defiant Strike, Lash, Show of Confidence, Study Break, Flunk, etc. So this seems great. If not, if this wasn't his pack, Thunderous Orator is also a good 2-drop. But Sedgemoor Witch is a bomb. We don't pass up bombs here. So yeah, this Silverquill deck looks like it's going to get out of hand. Here we could take a lesson with Environmental Sciences. Usually Silverquill is the archetype that cares the least about Environmental Sciences because it's not really trying to splash or get their land drops too often. But having 1 copy is nice, and we also have a decent amount of learn cards already. With only 1 lesson, it does feel kind of weird only have having one lesson while we have a bunch of learn cards. Otherwise, we'd be looking at like Professor's Warning or Pillar Drop Rescuer, which is all okay. But I don't mind a copy of Environmental Sciences. Sometimes you do need to just hit your land drops, and it does help. And Hunt for Specimens is great. Good 2-drop, helps us learn. Great in both Witherbloom and Silverquill. Can enable Magecraft as well since it's a sorcery. If this wasn't his pack, I wouldn't mind Alan Shieldmage as a good 5-drop. Best card in general between Devouring Tendrils and Mage Duel, they're both just really good removal spells that Quandrix kind of needs in the set to stabilize. But we'll take a Hunt for Specimens. And here, nothing amazing. There's an Introduction to Annihilation as a fine lesson. There's also an Unwilling Ingredient, which is okay, but we don't have too many ways to put counters onto our creatures. There's also the Spiteful Squad, which is also fine. Typically speaking, I think we have a lot of removal. We don't need to prioritize an Introduction as a spell we want to learn. Honestly, I don't even think it's one of the better ones. Although it's nice just to have access to it. Maybe I do take it anyway, since again, we have a ton of learn cards and just not enough lessons. So I think I'll take the Introduction here. But Unwilling Ingredient would be my 2nd pick. Okay, now I think I like the Alan Shieldmage over Spirit Summoning. One of the more weaker lessons. Definitely a fine spell, but it's going to be a little bit hard to cast with double white. I do like the Alan Shieldmage at 5. Gives me a nice evasive threat that can help me close out the game. And then we'll take another Inkling Summoning as a great lesson. Also wouldn't mind Lorehold Pledge Mage, but I need to make sure I have enough campuses to help fix for it. But for now, we'll take another Inkling Summoning. And we'll take Pillar Drop Rescuer versus Spirit Summoning. I did say that Spirit Summoning is one of the more weaker lessons. So I think I'm just leaning... Ooh, never mind, Arrogant Poets. Okay, I think we need 2 drops. Yeah, we need more 2 drops. So just forget about everything I just tried to state there, and we'll take another good 2 drop. Promising Dusk Mage could be okay if we have more ways to put counters. Definitely not an unreasonable card to main deck. So don't feel embarrassed if you have to play this as a 3 drop. Like, having this as a 3/4 that draws you a card when it dies is actually not that bad. But here we'll take Silverquill Apprentice. Just lower the curve. So what can we use? A decent amount of 4s, maybe an extra 5 drop. Maybe another copy of Rise of Exodus. Right now everything is looking really nice in this deck. Could use another cheap removal spell like maybe an Eliminate or Mage Hunter's Onslaught at 4. Don't mind a Reduce to Memory for the sideboard. Sometimes you need that extra removal spell, and this could be okay. The rest is also fine, but in Silverquill you rather have combat tricks. The rest is not unreasonable in the set since there's plenty of lessons and instances in sorceries. But I still think we rather just take the lesson at the end of the day. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways to learn. Should be reasonable with 5 lessons as of right now. Wouldn't mind a Guiding Voice in this deck too, just as a nice way to also learn for cheap. Okay, Exhilarating Elocution might make it if we have 0 4 drops outside of a Spectre Offense, but I could use like a Combat Professor or Mage Hunter's Onslaught at 4 here. Okay. Stonerise Spirit is kind of weak, but if we don't have enough 2s, it's fine filler. We just need more creatures, I think. But our lessons also generate creatures here. This is probably a very weak pack for us. The best card in this pack is like Lightning Bolt, Divide by 0. Torrent Sculptor is okay. Haven't been too impressed by it, but decent, flexible, good rare. I think we just want the Shadewing Laureate at 3. Gives us a nice evasive threat at 3, and then rewards us whenever one of our flyers dies. We can just move counters to another flyer, which can be pretty reasonable. Otherwise, we'd be looking like at an Unwilling Ingredient. Maybe Eager First Year can replace the Stonerise Spirits. But we'll just take a very medium first pick. Pretty unexciting, but something that we kind of need. Yeah, this pack also sucks. I guess I'll just take a second Silverquill Apprentice and abandon this Stonerise Spirit. Beaming Defiance is kind of too expensive for what it does. Silverquill Apprentice is fine. Gives me an extra good 2-drop. I'll take a second Lash of Malice. Don't think we need to prioritize the Defend the Campus here. Second Lash is nice with a show of confidence. We almost have a full deck. Right now we could use some more 4 and 5 drops here. I need an extra flyer, maybe a Pillar Drop Rescuer or another Allen Shield Mage or a Combat Professor at 4. And this deck should be alright. Defiant Strike is pretty good, the Silverquill Apprentice too. Okay, now Cryphemes is a pretty good lesson, but what else is a good lesson? An Expand Anatomy is a great lesson to search up. I hate passing a Shine Shadow Snarl because I could use a dual land. But we have to take the Expand Anatomy since we don't have one yet. And it's just so good in Silverquill. We already have Environmental Sciences. There's a D-Spark as a fine removal spell. Doesn't answer tokens, fractal tokens, but it's still very efficient at 2 mana dealing with large threats. Otherwise, there's a Pilgrim of the Ages, which is okay. Reflective Golem is fine, but Show of Confidence does exactly the same thing, almost. I guess we'll just take the removal spell. Kind of creature light for this Silverquill deck, but again, we can still learn up the Inkling Summoning tokens. But Exhilarating Elocution definitely one of our more weaker cards. Same with the Defiant Strike. Maybe we can cut that. Like, maybe Professor's Warning is just better than Defiant Strike, since at least it can give your creature protection and give it a counter, which can be pretty relevant in these Silverquill aggressive decks. And we'll finally take a Campus, thank God. There's another Blackish Trudge, but again, we don't have too much lifelink synergy. Life gain synergy, I mean. Okay, well, these packs are running kind of dry. I'm hoping I can get something at 4 or another creature to help me close out the game. Because we definitely need some creatures here. Another 2-drop could be fine. A 4 or a 5-drop would be nice as well. I might have to actually just play the Stonerise Spirit as a filler 2-drop and run maybe like 16 lands. Doesn't feel great, but we might have to. There's also the Star Pupil I can throw in. Thank God. Eager First Year is decent. There's also Crushing Disappointment, but I think I just need more 2-drops. And this is a decent one. Okay, I guess we can still run a Spiteful Squad, which is fine. Probably definitely worse than Mage Hunter's Onslaught, but and the rest of the other 4-drops, but still serviceable. And we could even run 16 lands if we need to. But I don't mind running 17s because we might need the extra mana to cast the Inkling Summoning tokens. I could get greedy, run 16 with a Defiant Strike. It's actually not unreasonable. Because we don't have much in the late game. 1 6-drop, 1 5-drop, a couple of 4s. So it's definitely reasonable to run 16 lands, I think. Might be actually better to run Make Your Mark, what was that card? Make Your Mark over the Defiant Strike. Like, sure, Defiant Strike can draw you a card, but this can make a 3/2, which I think is just better. 1, 2, 3. Maybe we do run a Promising Dusk Mage. It's actually not unreasonable now with a Professor's Warning, Show of Confidence, and Sparring Regiment. It can actually be pretty reasonable. And now Spiteful Squad too, so I actually don't hate the Promising Dusk Mage. We could use some extra creatures in this type of deck, so we can curve out with. So I think we're running 16 lands for sure, since our curve is relatively low at the top end. We have some decent 4s. The 3s are all pretty solid. Promising Dusk Mage the weaker one of them, but I mean, we have Exhilarating Elocution for counters, we have Expand Anatomy for counters, Sparring Regiment for counters, so I'm actually not against it. Same with Show of Confidence. So people talk trash about this card, but I think it's actually pretty okay for what it does. It's definitely not like an amazing card if you can't put counters onto, but if you can, it's actually pretty solid. So I might just run the Promising Dusk Mage since we were lacking creatures. So how many ways do we have to learn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways to learn. How many lessons? We have plenty of lessons. The more exciting ones are the Double Inkling Summoning and Expanded Anatomy. And with 5 ways to learn, it shouldn't be too difficult to grab them. Sometimes we might need Introduction or Reduce the Memory as a removal spell. So it seems quite good. And then looking at the sideboard, any on-color cards that we don't mind playing. There's a Make Your Mark. It's better than Professor's Warning. Probably not, since this can also just put a counter onto a creature and give a creature indestructible. Show of Confidence. Again, we just need as much counter synergy as possible for this Promising Dusk Mage. And then just having permanent way to buff our creatures can help them like deal damage to help close out the game. So I don't think I like Make Your Mark here. Usually 1 copy of Professor's Warning is enough. Stonerise Spirit is very medium. It can fly, but overall, like, it's just not even that good. It's great with Sparring Regiment, of course, but without Sparring Regiment, it's just very slow. I'd rather just play a bunch of 2-drop Dork creatures and just try to smash and for lethal. Like, what would I cut for this? I don't know. Like, all these 2s are just so good. And I don't really want to cut any of my non-creature spells, honestly. So I think we should be fine. I mean, we'll easily learn up these Inkling Summonings to play. And then that can make up for the Stonerise Spirit. So I think we run something like this, and we're definitely favoring black. So maybe like 9-8 should be fine. I can even go down to 9-7, which isn't unreasonable. You know what? Maybe we should just go 9-7, and we can still, like, learn, honestly. I mean, 10-7. Is that crazy? Like, I mean, the thing is, we can still learn and grab, like, environmental sciences to help fix our mana. Although we rather just learn for the Inkling summoning. But, you know, usually 7 white sources is okay. Although maybe we still need 8 white sources. We're definitely heavily black. So if we do miss out on our black mana early on, it can be kind of devastating. At the very least. Don't know. 10-7 seems okay. Usually with 1 white mana we should be able to go pretty far. Like, it's not like we need to double spell any of our white mana spells and creatures. We're mostly interested in double spelling our black mana spells. Like, we can maybe play like a 2-drop in the Lash of Malice instead. So I think we just run something like this and give it a shot. And hopefully this draft will get me to diamond ranking, which I've been grinding for all day. And, you know, I'll maybe make a 4-hour video next time, just showcasing maybe 2 drafts. And I can also, like, you can also see how I don't necessarily always get 7 wins, and I only record my 7-win videos to showcase for study purposes. But anyways, pack 1, I mean, not pack 1, pick 1 opening hand. Eye Twitch seems good, and we got double white mana even though we're running 10-7. So we'll try this. 2-drop would be awesome, but Eye Twitch on 1 is always great. Just a very excellent 1-drop. Just being able to learn is nice. So we can lash any annoying 2-drops. I mean, I actually don't mind just trading for the Eye Twitch here. And I think we want to keep up double black for Professor's Warning and Lash of Malice. So I think we just say go. And this is a totally fine trade. Frost Trickster, that's annoying. But this is a pretty decent Lash target, so I'll just take 2 and then Lash the Frost Trickster here. Since it's a flyer and flyers are a little bit more problematic. So now he's probably just going to keep this back to block the Blackish Trudge in the later turn. Curate, okay. That's a good sign. Might want to eventually put Exhilarating Elocution on the Eye Twitch or one of my flyers and start attacking, and still get in a nice attack with the Blackish Trudge. So if he attacks back, then we can swing back for 5, which is a ton of damage, so he probably wants to stay back. Okay, so combat. I think we just attack with the Eye Twitch, and then play out Spectral Fens. Hopefully he doesn't kill it. So we can start zerging him in the air, and then maybe play Promising Dusk Mage, keep up Professor's Warning. and then we can also just put counters onto the Promising Dusk Mage. Flamethrower Sonata, probably discarding a card to take out the Spectre Offense. It's definitely a reasonable target to take out. Ooh, Spiteful Squad seems pretty decent. Let's play it. Right now it's a pretty slow clock, but it's just mana efficient. This illustrious historian is definitely doing a lot of work too. Next turn I can play Promising Dusk Mage and just attack with the Spiteful Squad, and then if he does trade I can put counters on the Promising Dusk Mage and also Professor's Warning it. Let's see. Could just attack with all. This can grow pretty large. Can Exhilarating Elocution, but I don't think it's a turn to do that. Let's just play the Promising Dusk Mage here. And I think I'm fine, maybe just sending in the team. He can hit back pretty hard with these Stormkill Artists. I can also just attack with these three, keep the Blackish Trudge back to trade for the Stormkill Artist, because he definitely wants to block with the Illustrious Historian on the 4-2, so I think this is a better attack. And then if he doesn't block, it means he doesn't want to put counters onto the Promising Dusk Mage. Just don't want to give the opponent infinite time to play their big explosive spells. That can annihilate me. Eureka Moment main phase, sure. So he probably has set up a Mage Duel or something. Field Trip, sure. So I can Exhilarating Elocution next turn and attack. I'm actually not against that, since if he's going to tap out and not have much of anything, we can just kind of swarm him for this turn until, because next turn is a turn where he's just going to go wide and develop the board. So we probably don't want that, so we probably just want to be hyper-aggressive this turn. So I think I like to land Exhilarating Elocution on the flyer and just smash. So then he's forced to put the Artist in front of maybe the Blackish Trudge. And this seems pretty good. And this chump is also fine. I can also put a counter onto the Blackish Trudge, making it a bigger problem or making it indestructible. But I want to keep up the counter for the Promising Dusk Mage. This will become a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess the Blackish Trudge can attack into it if I put a counter onto it. So let's see, yeah, let's do that. Let's put a counter here. So now we have a wide board of just problematic creatures he needs to deal with. If he plays the giant elemental, we can just attack with all still, and I'm totally fine if he goes for the value blocks. He's just going to be dead if he takes 5. Flunk is nice. I think we just flunk an attack, right? So if I flunk an attack, what happens? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, he has to block the 5-3. So I think we just go for it here. And we just want to alpha here. And he needs to block the 5-3, otherwise he's just dead. And we have a lethal flyer in the air as well. So that turned out pretty well. So yeah, so you have to time the Exhilarating Elocution in the right moment, otherwise eventually the Quandrix decks will just outvalue you and go wide enough to ruin your day. What's this? Cultivate, I don't think that's enough. He needs an extra creature. And we have a Death Toucher that can freely attack and trade off. Yeah, he's just dead here. I mean, okay, I think I'd want to play the Shadewing Laureate first, of course, to get some value if my flyer dies. And we'll just swing the team, and then he's probably just dead here. Can't imagine anything else that can kill me. And this is just a sorcery speed spell, so yeah, he's just dead. So that, yeah, that Exhilarating Elocution turn was very key. You need to know when to use it, and not just play it when you want to, but play it at the right moment. Otherwise, I think he would have definitely stabilized with all those elemental summoning tokens, and he would have had really good blocks. 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop. Yep. Ooh, 1 drop. 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop. Wow, this is like the best curve ever. I've never had such a curve like this. Ooh, maybe. I think it's still the Arrogant Poet first. Not sure. Since it can at least fly, like. I know I do value the fly more. Maybe it is a Silverquill Apprentice. But maybe I value the flying more. This is better in the late game with more Magecraft, and I don't have any, so I think we just play the Arrogant Poet here. So, another control deck. That can be kind of scary. Tome Shredder. So he can make this into a 3-3. So I definitely want to fly over here and just play Witch of the Moors. And maybe try to outrace him. And I'm going to pay the 2 life and try to outrace him here because the Sedgemoor Witch still requires him to pay ward, and yeah, she's just going to get out of hand if she's an answered ASAP. Next turn we can even Exhilarating Elocution if we want to. And just go all in. Tome Shredder is not necessarily the most impactful card. If he kills a Sedgemoor Witch, we can always play a Spiteful Squad on defense. Yeah, it sucks that he has to pay the ward cost. He does get to learn though. But yeah, you want to deal with the Sedgemoor Witch right away. Otherwise she's just going to run away with the game. Just an intro to Prophecy, nothing too scary. And if he swings, I'll just attack without paying the 2 life. And that's totally fine. Okay. So now we can easily swing back. Okay. Don't think it's Exhilarating Elocution. We just need to develop the board, of course. And then Spiteful Squad is a good blocker. Can start loading up counters to the Eye Twitch. Hopefully no reject here. Yeah, some people actually splash a reject in their deck. It doesn't really make sense, but to each their own. Pillar Drop Warden is a problem. So I guess we want to just take it slow here. Exhilarating Elocution doesn't do anything, it just ends up trading for the 3-3. I guess we just play the Promising Dusk Mage and pass. We can even just chump the Tome Shredder since the flyer is no longer really valid against the Pillar Drop Warden anymore. So we need to find an answer to this and then try to cheese them out, essentially. I can also just take 3 still and play it slow. Alright, land is good. Play out the Shield Mage, just develop the board, and then maybe we can have an Elocution turn where we can put it onto the 2-2 and attack with all. Opponent's deck doesn't look very intimidating, but ooh, flunk. So end of turn he can activate this in response, we can flunk it. I don't mind that, so now we can play the Silverquill Apprentice. I guess I also want to flunk just the 1-5 here. By flunking the 1-5, let's see, yeah, it's -7, right? Where X is the number of cards in the opponent. Yeah, I think we just want to flunk the 1-5 here. And we want to pump the flyer, I think. Might want to keep the Eye Twitch back to chump. Test of Talents, really? Ah, this opponent has every single stupid dumb counter spell he's splashing for. Like, who splashes for this crap? It's so stupid. Yeah, I guess I'll just chump the Tome Shredder and take it slow. But this is a little bit annoying. I don't know if I want to block this. I'd rather just chump this, get an Expand Anatomy, and start attacking the Allen Shield Mage. So then it can get out of range from its Igneous Inspiration that he can potentially get from its graveyard. If that Flunk Resolve, I would have definitely did a ton of damage to him. Sure, so that's win condition. So you might want to just chump the Tome Shredder here. Otherwise he's just going to sit back all day. You know what? Let's go for it. Stop wasting time. And then what do we want to Magecraft here? So this is going to become a 3-2. Guess I can pump the Arrogant Poet as well. And just attack with Arrogant Poet and the Allen Shield Mage. And then if he blocks the Arrogant Poet, we can still kill him with another Magecraft trigger. I think I'm fine paying the 2 life here. If he blocks the Pillar Drop Warden again, I can just put a counter onto the Promising Dusk Mage. Or another flyer. I don't mind putting on a Dusk Mage since it can draw me a card. We'll see what he does here. He's holding a priority with the 5-5. Yeah, let's just use the counter here. Where do we want to put the counter? Maybe just on the Allen Shield Mage. Maybe it doesn't matter anymore if we're not put a counter here, but maybe we just put on the Shield Mage so then he falls. Not sure. Because I definitely want to pump the Arrogant Poet this turn. This is a 5-5. You know what? Let's just put a counter here. And then we can trigger Magecraft and pump the Arrogant Poets and take out the Pillar Drop Warden before he gets his spells back. And I probably doubt he has anything because he's letting everything resolve here. Are you fucking serious? Okay, she's dead, thank God. I don't care about this. Like, it's a 6-6, but what is that going to do? He needs some sort of fight spell to really make this matter, I think. I can easily kill him with a single copy of, what's that card? Expand Anatomy on my flyer. And he's just dead. And this is the guy who splashes for Reject and Test of Talents. I don't understand it. Can I get to Diamond rank already? And once I get to Diamond, can I finally get to Mythic? Okay, Sparring Regiment is a bomb. Hopefully I top deck in the 1 or 2 drop, but this is a keep. Especially on the play. I want to lead with a creature first, so then I can enhance it and grow it after I play Sparring Regiment to surprise him. The Black Trudge isn't too bad. I mean, he could be sandbagging removal to answer my Sedgemoor Witch, and the Sedgemoor Witch can be completely insane in a late game, so I I think I don't mind playing the Black Trudge out, and then follow it up with Spartan Regiment, and then roll this into a 5-4. Humiliate. Wow, that's brutal. And he gets to put a counter onto his Star Pupil. Okay, I don't mind trading for the Star Pupil as well. It's a bit of an annoying card, but I guess he doesn't want to trade. Okay, we'll just play out our stuff now. And we'll swing for 4. And Study Break, get an Inkling token. Cast the Inkling token and start smashing in the air. Or grab an Expand Anatomy, which is also great in Silverquill. Mage Hunter, I don't really care. Yep, I don't really care. Yeah, if he wants to trade for this, that's actually okay. I don't mind just using Study Break to tap both of these down next turn. It's a little bit risky for the opponent to just take the hits here, I think. Definitely want to tap both of these. Yeah, that's fine. Might just want, let's think this through. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is he dead if I use Intro to Annihilation? Probably not. If I use Expand Anatomy, he's forced to jump. I think I like that. Ooh, Rise of Exodus, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still not dead. So if I use Expand Anatomy on the 4-2, then he's forced to chump it because that would be lethal, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so then, yeah, this will force the Allen Shield Mage to jump. And I can happily attack with everything. Because this is exactly lethal and he needs to chump here, so yep, that's a really good turn for me. And I can also use a 1-1 to chump as well. So opponent got a little bit too aggressive with his 2-drop there, and I think that's what cost him the game. Should really kept him back to disincentivize the Blackish Trudge from attacking. Okay, seems good. 2-drop and a 3-drop. The question is, I can also play the Silverquill Apprentice first to get that extra damage in. I mean, it's not unreasonable. And what if it trades though? Then, let's just hunt into the Inkling. It just curves out way better. And then we can maybe save the Silverquill later once we pick up another Magecraft spell. Ooh, Sedgemore Witch. Maybe that's even better. You know what? Let's go for a Sedgemore Witch. I want my token. And if he's just going to pass the turn and do absolutely nothing, then we're in good shape. Blackish Trudge, okay. Could double 2. I'm afraid he might just end up killing my Sedgemoor Witch. Yeah, maybe it's fine. Double 2 drop, and then next turn we can Inkling Summoning and and put out a huge attack. I can even just block this 4-2 honestly, or just take it since I should be able to win the race. It's actually not unreasonable blocking this. Yeah, let's just Inkling Summoning here, I guess. I think I'm fine offering the Witherbloom Apprentice as a trade with the Silverquill Apprentice. Just smash. Opponent's already down to 8 life. He can trigger life gain and put this in his hand, but he's missing his land drops. So he's going to be pretty far behind regardless. This card is just such a total bomb. Like, it even has ward, so they had to pay 3 life just to take it out. Sure. Hey, that's a good use of Witherbloom command that I haven't seen in a while. Yeah, let's just trade a Silverquill Apprentice. This creature is annoying enough. He main decks Witherbloom command. This is probably the worst command in the entire set. I'm surprised people even try it. He's just dead here, right? Yeah, we just lash here. We pump the menace creature. And then we just swing everyone else out and he's just dead. Yeah, it's 6 guaranteed. Wow. I mean, he was definitely missing his land drops, but his deck definitely looked really abysmal, not gonna lie. Okay, I guess we can play a tap land or Eager First Year or keep a Lash. Seems reasonable. Yeah, I think we want to play a tap land so we can curve out into the Blackish Trudge at least. And if we need to just activate the Lash, that's fine. If not, this is still fine. What's with these opponents who just do turn 2 do nothing? Do they just want to give me free wins or something? That's why 2 drops are very important, folks. Like, I get it, the expensive late game bombs are fun. Ooh, okay, Rutha. I think I just attack into it and hope he blocks. If not, we might have to just out aggro him because Rutha is just insane, so. Hopefully we can just smork him. Pillar Drop Warden, that's annoying. Yeah, we'll just attack here and see what's up. So I definitely want to kill Rutha here. So I want to order Rutha first, and then what can I do here? I could Professor's Warning to take out Rutha, put a counter on my Eager First Year. Yeah, Rutha is the one that has to go, I think. She's the biggest threat. Yep. Yeah, Rutha needs to go. We're not messing around here. Biggest threat here. If this card sticks around, she can just she can single-handedly just take over the game, especially with a card like Multiple Choice. Yeah, we'll let this resolve, and I definitely want to bounce back my Blackish Trudge since I want to counter on my Eager First Year. But there's an argument for bouncing the Eager First Year since it just costs more. You know what, maybe bouncing the Eager First Year is fine since the 4/2 can block the 4/4 better. It's not usually an option I tend to choose, but you know, it's just a cheaper card so you can replay it easier. I probably just want to attack into the ward and use Lash to finish it off. Or despark it. That's actually a pretty good idea too, since he can just buy back multiple choice. So maybe that's fine, just despark the Pillar Drop Warden. Play my Eager First Year. I could also just attack for 4. Seems fine too. And I'm fine with this trade. Just keep the board clear. Make sure he doesn't buy back multiple choice and Rutha or any of these insane bombs. Mathematician. Could just Lash, but it doesn't seem like a creature I care about killing, to be honest. I mean, I can start getting him for 2. Is it really worth lashing here? Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe 2 damage doesn't matter. Since we're a Silverquill deck and we just want to dish out as much damage as possible. Yeah, every damage seems to matter, I guess, so we might as well just get in there, because we're not going to win the late game with cards like Rutha, multiple choice, and like 7 mana make 2 4/4s. Well, at least he has to pay for the ward. It's not the worst. It would be insane to escape flying, that's why Silverquill Command is so good. Yeah, that's a problem. I can maybe hope to drain him out. Silverquill Apprentice. I guess I'll just attack for 2, maybe take 7 back and hopefully find a way out of this. If he tries to fight this, maybe I can at least flunk it to shrink it down. That's a good one. So hopefully nothing scary. I'll take 7. That's still a 3-turn clock from the opponent. Can you just tap out, please? Sure, that's a fine creature I don't mind using Flunk on. Igneous, Grinning Igneous, okay. Do I just flunk this? I think I do. Even though I'm missing on some damage with the Silverquill Apprentice, I still think we go for this plan. Sure, I think we just load everything up and go for it. Like, how else do we win? Let's go. He can maybe Devouring Tendrils this, and that would be pretty annoying. But yep, if he can't, then we just win. So yep. Do not let Rutha stick around, guys. Like, I could have taken out maybe the Pillar Drop Warden. I mean, I would have had to use double spell to take out the Pillar Drop Warden, so taking out Rutha was correct there with the Professor's Warning. Otherwise, he was just gonna double his multiple choice and do some other crazy shenanigans, buy back multiple choice, recast it again. That would have been really scary, so luckily I got rid of him. And yep, currently 5-0. Let's keep this up. Keep the train rolling. Okay. Pretty bad opening hand. We need some 2-drops. We don't have any white mana. I think this is our first mull. This hand is also not great, but I'll keep. And I think I bomb Auxiliary Elocution since I need more creatures to make it really effective. And hopefully don't fly out too badly. I need some creatures here, game. Maybe a Sparring Regiment on 3 would be nice as well. Cultivate, that's really scary, Jesus. Okay, I guess we're facing against some sort of 4-color shenanigans deck. So Rutha might just be a little bit too scary, and yeah, we get nothing here. This is not how you want an aggro deck to operate, guys. Drawing nothing but lands. Cultivator, yeah, that's going to be rough to beat. I can't even really flunk it at all, since he has so much cards in his hand, so I probably still am forced to just stay back. Needlethorn Drake, I can maybe lash though. Fine creature, I don't mind killing. Does flunk take this out? No, it doesn't. I can still attack and flunk it. Maybe that's fine. Like, it's not great, but at least it gets rid of it. Other than that, I get to get in 2 free damage, which is still reasonable. But yeah, if he just keeps going off here, then we just lose. Flunk can be pretty bad against Quandrix decks because there's just so much card advantage. So this could just be our first loss since we're just drawing absolutely nothing. Like, we're literally just passing the turn, giving the opponent more time to play the big bombs and stuff, so... that deserves a lash. Can I have a creature, please? That's not what I meant. Hopefully maybe I can take out a 4/4. Yeah, that's probably just game over here. Yeah, that's probably just game over. Maybe I can hope to Show of Confidence and block the 3/4. This is interesting. So I could take out a 4/4 and cast Show of Confidence. I mean, I guess I can cast everything here. So we can play out the Silverquill Apprentice, say go. Then on his turn we can flunk a 4/4. Or at least take it, not sure. Do I just take it here? Like, there's nothing wrong with flunking this and just blocking. Like, it's actually not a bad idea. And at least still attempting to block this if we can. Don't think it matters. And we're fine blocking with a 6-powered creature just to gain some life. Or at least get rid of it. So it's okay, I guess. Regrowth to buy it back, yeah. This is not what you want to face, guys. Yeah, it's just game over here. So, yep, you need creatures in Silverquill, but if you're just drawing lands, good games. It's a waste of time. Yeah, but that's probably the worst hand we've had so far. Unfortunately, we can never get 7-0 for some reason. But at least our win rates are above average, and we're climbing this season. You know what? I might just make a second draft video here after this Silverquill draft. Because I really want to hit Diamond here. Seems good. Might want to play the Apprentice first, or just an Eager First Year. Yeah, Eager First Year seems like a creature I'd rather have died to a Lash first. See an Eliminate. Yep, I'm fine with this. And I'm probably fine just playing land into Arrogant Poet and keep up the Professor's Warning words. Promising Dusk Mage is good. Yeah, it's not necessarily a card I want to see. Maybe I can just attack for 2 and double 2-drops, seems fine. And if we get a land, we can at least keep up the Professor's Warning to help out against the Spectre Fence. Bibliotech Assistance, don't see that card too often. Unfortunately, can't target anything that we have, so it's actually not that good. Do I just double block this? I think I do. Yeah, I think I'm fine just attacking with both, and you can trade. And yeah, I'll just play out the Spectre. I don't see a reason to cast the Professor's Warning. If he wants to take it, that's also fine. Yeah, Doomblade just isn't going to do anything against me, so it's basically a dead draw. So, you know, great removal spell, but it's definitely more situational than it looks. Promising a Dusk Mage, sure. There's a Lash of Malice. You know, I don't mind just attacking with both and flying over and taking 2. Yeah, let's just do this. And we can still keep up the Professor's Warning in case. And we're still waiting to race anyways. Dueling Coach, that's the problem. I need to take out Dueling Coach end of turn. I'm actually happy that she attacked. And I can hopefully eventually just Rise of X this thing. I got my own Promising Dusk Mage. Probably fine taking 3 and I can just swing back hopefully and kill him. Very interesting. Huh. Might actually want to sack the Arrogant Poets. This is very interesting. Huh. You know what? Yeah, let's sack the Promising Dust Mage. I'm fine taking 3. I can outrace him. And he probably wants to stay back anyways. Yeah, he's probably not in the mood to really attack, otherwise he's just going to fall too far behind. And besides, I don't really have to pay life here. This is still 2-turn clock, so I think this is fine. Hopefully no Rise of X this year. Rise of Exodus would be pretty bad. Sure. Sure. Ooh, land is good, so that's lethal, so now I can use Rise of Exodus on the Shadewing Laureates. Exile Umbro Juke. And then get a Inkling Summoning Token, attack with both, and this game over. Yeah, we got him. Alright, final boss. Let's get our nice 7 wins. Pack 1, pick 1 sparring regimen. Didn't even see it in action really, but our deck is just really consistent and powerful. So, so usually you don't want to focus on just a single bomb to win you the game. Whereas, you know, you need a deck with a lot of consistent synergy to really make it happen and make it work. Okay, seems pretty good. 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, everything you can hope for. They're on a play though, so we don't have as much tempo, but that should still be fine. We can always save the Sedgemoor Witch until we can cast the Lash of Malice. Maybe he's holding on to a Befuddler. Or an Arcane Subtraction to cycle and learn. Opponent's contemplating. I think he has an Arcane Subtraction because, you know, this is taking a long time. Can counter this. I probably just want to leave the Dust Mage before the Sedgemoor Witch again. And hopefully I can get a 4th untapped land to keep up Lash, so I can at least make a token if she ends up dying. And Despark. Good card, but not great. I think we just leave it the Promising Dust Mage and attack for 1. Yeah, the problem with this is it just doesn't exile any tokens, but it still deals with the Quandrix Cultivator, which is a problematic card. Professor's Warning is also pretty decent. I do want to get some stuff going here. I mean, but exiling this Quandrix Cultivator and getting in an attack this turn seems pretty good. So, why not this? Let's despark this Quandrix Cultivator. Pump this Promising Dust Mage. And I'm fine attacking with all. Am I? Yeah, let's go for it. And if he blocks here, I'll just give it a counter or indestructible. Or I can just trade. You know what? Let's give it indestructible. And, you know, we get to clear his board here and get a nice attack. And he has nothing. That's really good. Yep, let's move to combat again. And attack. Could see a Burying Books. Or an Arcane Subtraction. Sure. It's not the worst bury. An Arcane Subtraction here. So he was holding on to it all along. That's fine. I can play out the Sedgemoor Witch. And she has Menace, so that's great for me. Always want to hold on to your bombs before you play them. Sure. I think I'm fine just attacking for 4. Don't see a reason to lash here. Like, I could attack and then lash, but it doesn't seem like it's necessary. I could use lash on my turn so I can pump up the Eye Twitch or Sedgemoor Witch and get in a nice attack. Wow, he has nothing. Well, this is an easy victory. Nice easy 7-win video. Just play Silverquill aggro. Not too difficult. It's probably just going to see a concession here. Sharp. Probably just going to bounce an Apprentice. Or just a Dusk Mage, since... I mean, this is just cheaper to cast. Why not just bounce this? And I'll just probably just pump using the Lash here and swing for lethal. Allen Shield Mage though. I could also play the slower game. You know what? Let's get the Allen Shield Mage here. Let's just attack for 1. Multiple choice is good, but not great against us. So yeah, nice 7-1 draft, and we're almost to Diamond tier. So I could just fire off another draft now, since I have more recording time now, and this is a really short video. I'm not actually opposed to doing so, since I did state that I wanted to make top 10 Mythic by the end of this month. So I do want to squeeze in as much time as I can for these drafts. But yeah, not bad. Nice 7-1 new season Silverquill. Yeah, I don't think we need to look over the deck. We already did. I'm gonna add to my collection, and then yeah, let's just claim some prizes here. Really sweet rewards. Get all the gems. Wow, Professor Onyx. Haven't opened her too much in draft as well. Her mascot exhibition, same thing. Wow, they're giving us all the good rares now and mythics. I like how the rewards, there's a chance to get 40 gems from these packs. But yeah, you know what? Let's fire off another draft. There's enough time for another one. And again, I do want to hit Diamond Myth ranking here. Alrighty then, pack 1, pick 1, Strixhaven Premier Draft. Basically, we're drafting, again, Platinum to Diamond. We see a pretty interesting pack. There's Eye Twitch, which is great, but definitely worse than Emergent Sequence, which is just a very powerful 2-drop that can help you ramp. And green is one of the more powerful colors in this set, and this gives you the ability to splash and fix as well. So Emergent Sequence is definitely better than Eye Twitch. Definitely would prefer Emergent Sequence over Witherbloom. Apprentice now. The other good commons in this pack are Guiding Voice, Inkling Summoning, and then that's pretty much it. So I think you should be looking at only these 5 cards in the pack to start your draft out with, and I think the Emergent Sequence is just good enough. Helps you ramp, helps you fix, and even if your land ends up dying, you know, it's not like you actually lose a card. You can always put in another land that's your 3rd color in your deck to avoid not having that splash color option, but Emergent Sequence is a great place to start. Otherwise, if Emergent Sequence was in this pack, pretty interesting choice between Guiding Voice and Inkling Summoning. I think they're both pretty powerful and close, but Emergent Sequence it is. Okay, if we want to stick with green, there's just a Mage Duel. There's also Overgrown Arch, which is fantastic. Bearing Books, Eliminate. Lots of great cards in this pack. As much as I like Overgrown Arch, and I don't really like it in Quandrix, I think it's better in Witherbloom. And usually the weakness of the Quandrix decks are that there's just not enough removal. So I don't mind just sticking with the Mage Duel here and stick with mono green for now. Like, there's a chance we do end up in Witherbloom, and the Overgrown Arch can be insane with the Blood Researcher. But if we don't, it's still fine, but it's not like an amazing card. Whereas, like, if we do end up really into Quandrix with a third color splash, the Mage Duel is just very important. So yeah, let's just stick with mono green for now. Take the removal spell, and ooh, Zamone and Hunt for Specimens, both excellent cards. I mean, this is the third pick, Zamone, for my right-hand side, though, so it is a sign that Quandrix is open. Same with the Needlethorn Drake, and I do prefer to be in Quandrix than Witherbloom in this set, so I think I'm liking Zamone here. And then, if she was in this pack, probably take Hunt for Specimens and lean towards some sort of Witherbloom ramp deck with lots of pest tokens, but Zamone it is. And again, gotta keep in mind the emergent sequence can enable a third splash, and we guessed correctly because Eureka Moment, one of the best commons in the set. If not, it's definitely not the best common, but one of my favorite commons, just so powerful. 4 mana instant speed, draw 2 and put a land onto the battlefield, so it also helps you ramp and gives you card advantage. This card's great. And this pack sucks, so thank God I wasn't drafting. Thank God I didn't lean towards black. Another Mage Duel seems great. Expand Anatomy, better in a much more aggressive Silverquill and Lowerhold decks, but we'll just take a Mage Duel. Okay, now this pack is a bit of a blank. Prismari Pledge Mage is not unreasonable playing in a Quandrix deck, but usually you'll just pick up enough decent 2-drops anyways. I think we just take the Witherbloom Campus in case we end up splashing black. Sometimes the Soul Tie combinations can be kind of fun, especially if you open like Beldross Witherbloom, if you open up like Flunk or like a Mortality Spear. It can be pretty fun splashing black in the Quandrix deck, so why not? Ooh, another Mage Duel. Gonna take it here over the second Witherbloom Campus. No respect for Mage Duel. I'll play as many of these as I want in a Quandrix deck. Do need to make sure I have enough large creatures to fight, though, but the fact that it pumps your own creature is nice. So let's take another Mage Duel. So hopefully I pick up some Prismari Apprentices. Prismari Pledge Mages, I mean. Ball Mathematician isn't great. I actually prefer Vortex Runner. There's also a pretty late return pass color, which is fantastic in the Mardu, Lorehold, or Jeskai control decks. But Vortex Runner I think is definitely better than Biomathematician. Rewards us for getting to 8 lands. And it's not too different, honestly. Sure you don't get 2 bodies, but, you know, sometimes you just need that evasive win con, and Vortex Runner gets it done. Alright, late Guiding Voice, the best white common, but we'll just take a Biomathematician now. And, don't know if I need second Vortex Runner. Reject is pretty bad, but I've actually seen people main deck this, but I'm one of those people who are still in the no reject. I'm still one of those that don't really believe in the reject, so I'll put the Vortex Runner on the sideboard for now. There's a reject camp and the people who don't believe in the reject camp. I'm one of those people who don't really believe in it. Like, sure, you can maybe snipe their 2-drop, but it's not going to win you the game. And if you make it into late game, it's just really hard to pull off, especially against a Quandrix deck with lots of mana. Like, sometimes you do snipe them well with a reject and you manage to apply enough pressure and be aggressive and win the game. But it's all too situational, to be honest. Needlethorn Drake is better than Mercurial Transformation. This lesson sucks. If it was instant speed, it'd be way better, but the fact that it's sorcery speed makes it worse. And they still get a creature out of the way. They still get a creature. Waterfall Airless is playable, but not exciting. I don't mind the Fortifying Draught over Barak Befuddler. This can be an okay combat trick. Better than Witherbloom with all the life gain synergies, but could be fine if you need to give a creature +2/+2 and gain some life. Same argument for like the Charge Through if you have large fractal tokens. Ooh, this is a bomb, but Harmonize is also kind of a bomb in these Quandrix decks. Burying Books is also great. The best cards in this pack: Poet's Quill, Harmonize, Burying Books, Frost Trickster, Guiding Voice. Let's take a look at this deck. 4-mana draw 4 is really powerful. There's also a Burying Books, but we do have triple Mage Duel already. You know what? Let's get a Harmonize. I think it's just too good. Like, you know, 4-mana draw 3 is just way better than just 1-for-1ing a creature. It's all situational, of course, but come on. Draw 3. Let's do it. Poet's Quills also could be splashable, of course, but, you know, double black is not the easiest. Since if you want to play the Poet's Quill, you want to cast it in the same turn. Ruta is also really busted in the right Quandrix or Prismari decks. which we could still be, but honestly we don't really have any fractal tokens yet. So I think I just like the Quandrix Pledge Mage as a great 3-drop, can easily grow this, and if it gets an answered, it just becomes insanely powerful. Definitely definitely the best Pledge Mage in this set. Not a big fan of Karok Wrangler, but we can still play it though. Snakeskin Veil is also fine. Maybe we just take the Karok Wrangler here. There's also an Arcane Subtraction as an okay way to learn, but we currently don't have any lessons, so it's not like it's going to be great. Karok Wrangler can be a fine 5-drop, and we do have a lot of ways to trigger Magecraft. Can put counters on things, and it's great. Snakeskin Veil is also really nice, actually. So kind of difficult to know what to take here. I just love the efficiency of Snakeskin Veil, just being able to protect a creature for 1 mana. It's like a 1-mana hexproof trick that can definitely come up. You know what? Let's take the Snakeskin Veil. There's enough 5s in Quandrix. I don't need to worry about this card. And the 5-mana 3/3 is not very impactful. Let's take a Snakeskin Veil here. Ooh, Body of Research is fun. There's also a nice Fractal Summoning token. Do we really need Body of Research? Like, triple green and triple blue is not the easiest to cast. Like, sure, you smash and you win the game, but trust me, you really need campuses to make this work. Might actually just be the Fractal Summoning here. I'm not a believer of this card, honestly. Like, it just seems too janky. Yeah, it's just way too janky. Let's just take a Fractal Summoning token. It's too cute. I mean, like, it's not unreasonable, but still a little bit difficult to get going. Don't think we're geared up for double black with Pigment Storm, so I'll just take a Witterbloom Campus in case that Quill comes around. Okay, we have Divide by 0 as our first way to learn, so it pairs really nicely with the Fractal Summoning. Great interaction spell. Containment Breach is also pretty decent as a lesson. There's a Cram Session as a way to learn. Let's take our Divide by 0. Ooh, Quandrix Apprentice. So Quandrix is definitely open. Pick 7. Yep. We're definitely doing it. And Cultivator. I think I take the Cultivator after triple Mage Duel. We should have enough Mage Duels already to make our interactions efficient, and this is just one of the more important 4-drops that are incredibly powerful in the Quandrix decks. Just provides you so much ramp and a great body to have too. Don't know if we'll play second Bile Mathematician. Don't think I'm playing second Waterfall Aerialist. Okay, I guess we might just play 3 copies of this. That's a pretty light Combat Professor and Hunt for Specimens too. Karok Wrangler has just been just hasn't been very impressive. I would rather just have the Witterbloom Pledge Mage at 5. Just a 5/5 that's just chonky on the ground. Like, sure, you can trigger Magecraft and put counters everywhere, but it's still very slow. Here I could just take a Cram Session as an okay way to learn on turn 2. Pretty reasonable card, actually. I'm hoping we can maybe do a 3rd color since we have this Emergence sequence and some Witterbloom Campuses, so we'll see. This card is great, but I don't think we need it. There's a Scourge Colony, Kelpie Guide, and Professor Zoomancy we're looking at. I think the best card out of these are just the Kelpie Guide. I already have a Mage Duel already. Our 4s are fine. Yeah, let's just take Kelpie Guide. I don't think we're double splashing for this. Scourge Colony is also a nice card, but the Kelpie Guide is just better. Another Divide by 0. A Mage Duel. There's also a Scourge Colony. There's also the Golden Ratio, but we have Harmonize and Eureka Moment as card advantage already. Do we just main deck 2 Divide by 0s? I don't know. I mean, I think we really need a Scourge Colony. Can just become a 4/4 in the late game. Nice reach creature to have. So I think we can just take it safe here and just take the Colony. There's also a Campus, which I would love, but I think I need the Colony here. Ooh, Rutha. But there's just another Fractal Summoning token. I don't think we're a Rutha deck, necessarily. We have only 1 Divide by 0 as a way to learn, though, which doesn't seem great. I guess now is a reason to play Cram Session. Okay, I'm in for it. Let's take the Fractal Summoning. And then Arcane Summoning. Arcane Subtraction is another way to learn now. Seems good. Where's our late game cards? Like, we need some big boys to ramp into. Do we just play a million Bile Mathematicians and just go wide? It's definitely a possible game plan. Cultivate is great. Okay. Yep. Pest Summoning is okay. I guess these are kind of the late game cards we're trying to ramp into. They're Fractal Summonings. Not sure. Another Snakeskin Veil. So had I taken the Carrot Wrangler, I'd be in better shape, since I would have a 5-drop here. But now we have a second Snakeskin Veil, which is kind of excessive. I'll just take it anyways. But right now, the baseline of this deck looks pretty strong. So we're most likely just going to look to ramp into our... Ooh, Leyline Invocation, that's a gift. Also wouldn't mind Containment Breach, but yeah, that's a gift. I need the Leyline Invocation in this deck, otherwise we're not going to have any large creatures to trample the opponent with. Another Neothorn Drake. Do we just play a million Biomathematicians? I'm not against it. Like, maybe that is just the game plan, although we only need 3 more cards left in the library. I don't know here. Take a second Neothorn Drake, not sure if I'll play it. Professor, though. There's also a second Scourge Colony, but I think we need the Professor of Zoomancy as another 4-drop in this deck that can beat down hard. And I guess I'll take Golden Ratio now to have a little bit more card advantage. There's a third Mage Duel, but I think the third Mage Duel is overkill. Yeah, let's just take another Golden Ratio, and then I guess we won't have any fixing. So that's a little bit sad. I can always play as a dual land just to have some scry in the late game. Seems pretty bad. Okay, I mean, we might just have to play the whatchamacallit, the Waterfall Aerialist, or like a second Vortex Runner in this deck. Like, we have ways to ramp, we have ways to fix, but just nothing even good to splash, really. It's kind of an odd deck. So we probably just want our payoffs for getting up to 8 lands with this type of deck. So I actually don't mind a second Vortex Runner to help out with that circumstance. And then now we have Scourge Colony, which rewards us for 8 lands, Zamone, double Vortex Runner, Kelpie Guide, and then a Leyline Invocation, and then some Fractal Summonings we can learn up. Let's see how many learn cards we have. Not too many. Yep, 3 learn cards seems okay with 2 Fractal Summonings in the sideboard. I also don't think we're Biomathematicianing here. And I think we all need all these learn cards to at least make it consistent to hit our learn cards. Okay, seems fine. This Cultivate and Emergent Sequence looks a little bit saddening, but it does give us a bit of fixing. And 9/8 seems good. No Campus, so we can't really scry in the late game. Like, it would be pretty bad just to play this, honestly. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's also not great. Let's just do this. Yep, let's not waste time. Maybe we can steal some games. This could just be the more aggressive version of the Quandrix deck. Since we're not really trying to just play the controlling game and get to late game, we have plenty of removal, lots of evasive threats. Definitely a weird Quandrix deck, honestly. Since I could have used another like late game card. Quandrix Apprentice seems good. Play either Mage Duel or Divide by 0. I actually want to fight that. I could just bounce the land. Is that good or bad? Oh, I guess it needs mana value. So I think we want to just fight this land just to deny him the ramp. And maybe the game plan is to be aggressive. Wow, we had to bottom all of these. These are great cards. So we're prone to just hit a huge land pocket after this, which isn't great. But maybe we can get our way out of it by just playing a bunch of instances and sorceries still. But yeah, these cards would have been pretty amazing. That's very unfortunate, but now we get to slow him down here by taking out his land. And Professor should be able to lay down the beats. Dream Strix, do I just trade for this? He does get to learn though, which is annoying, but I mean, trading for this isn't the worst. I mean, this blocks the Professor, so this is okay. And then the Professor can just hit hard and start applying more pressure towards him. And we can at least learn a Fractal Summoning token. hoping we just don't hit a huge land pocket after bombing all those 3 cards. Because, man, these 3 cards would have been pretty amazing here. Once we untap, we can use Divide by 0 as a tempo play. And we can start being more aggressive in the ground. Because this might just be the game where we just have to be hyper aggressive since the opponent is just playing some insanely powerful cards. And they might just be the stronger deck. So splashing red, so some sort of teamer build. Okay, yeah, I guess we're gonna just hit a land pocket. It feels bad, but it is what it is. I can put him down to 9. We'll see. Probably need to divide by 0 and get a fractal token to start applying more pressure. Yeah, I think we have to divide that. Yeah, we need to be aggressive here. We just bombed some powerful cards. I can make a 4/4 this turn, or I can harmonize and draw a ton of cards. Let's start by attacking here. I mean, making a 4/4 is not bad. It's more of a tempo play, and we could apply a lot of pressure. So yeah, let's just make a 4/4. Therefore, he might be forced to chop with the Maelstrom Muse, which isn't necessarily the best case scenario. And then we can just draw on the back of this. And if he casts this, then yeah, he might be forced to chop, which isn't necessarily great. I guess he can gain some life now. Alright, at least we can apply some more pressure. Alright, let's harmonize here. And yeah, we hit a huge land pocket just as I've expected, of course. Of course. At least Simone and Eureka Moment would have gotten us out of here, but yeah, this is just going to be a huge land pocket from now on, and that's going to become a problem. Hopefully no 7 mana make 2 4/4s, or 5 mana make 2 4/4s if he decides to attack here. We still have a mage tool to maybe fight this and get an attack across. Okay, that's pretty good. And then he can also attack and ramp out something scary. I guess he just plays a Neothorn Drake, sure. Not the worst, but also not the best. Cultivator can be nice. Do I just trade the 4/4 for this Neothorn Drake? There's an Arcane Subtraction in my deck, so maybe it's fine. Yeah, the Neothorn Drake is a problem. I do want to just get rid of it, honestly. So then my Fractal Summoning can start attacking. So yeah, let's just get in there. Fine with the trade. It's not a great trade, but it's reasonable just to get it out of the way, so then my large Fractal Summoning can maybe start chipping in. At least this is thinning out the library after hitting that huge land pocket. 7 mana make 2 4/4s will be pretty devastating here. He also is probably sandbagging a Burying Books for my Fractal Summoning. I guess we shuffle the library, so we might at least buy back the whatchamacallit card. Okay, opponent doesn't have a lot of lessons, so you decide to loot. Interesting. Serpentine Curve, yeah, that's scary. Surprised opponent didn't attack and get the extra discount to make this into an 8/8. Yeah, he could have attacked. And yeah, just another huge land pocket. The rewards. Yeah, he probably just has a Bearing Books, but we'll just make it 8/8. Probably has a Bearing Books by now, and we're just going to draw nothing but lands at this point. It's just the RNG was just really bad. Rutha? Rutha is scary. But drawing lands is also very scary. I don't think I want to actually trade my 8/8 for a 6/6 here. But Rutha is just going to go off and win him the game here, because we can't seem to draw any spells to save our life. So 11, 12, 13, so there's 4 more lands in the deck. Bookworm isn't the worst. So I probably need to fight Rutha or something here to survive. Arcane Subtraction, I guess I like that. Let's attack here and just cast it. And I guess I'm fine keeping the Bookworm around and taking out his token. Not sure here. I mean, he can always just get back the Bookworm. So I guess this is fine. I mean, I guess I'm still dead here. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Because now my 8/8 is gone. Maybe I can Eureka Moment to something. Yeah, I think it's just game over here. We're just gonna lose. Yeah, let's not waste time here. Just drew too many lands, and somehow the game just wants us to bottom playable spells from our Quandrix Apprentice. And his deck is just way better, so. I love hitting land pockets. I could even run 16 lands now that I think about it. Like, really, it's almost like that that Silverquill deck. Because the thing is, we don't have too many mana sinks. Yeah, if I run 16 lands, what do I want from the sideboard? A Biomathematician, Fortifying Draught. Yeah, it's probably still fine running 16, 17, because we're a Quandrix deck that's looking to get to 8 lands anyway, so definitely very lackluster deck. This could just be a shining example of how I get 0-3'd, even though I'm trying to make the best decisions possible for the draft deck. I'm hoping at least I can get at least 4 wins, maybe. But this is definitely not a very optimal Quandrix deck. Okay, this hand doesn't look great, but it's also not the worst. I always like a Eureka Moment on turn 4. On the play, on the draw, I think it's still keepable. Maybe I can top deck into something good. Opponent's on the play, so if he's like a Silverquill aggro deck, I'm screwed. But nope, everyone wants to play blue in this set, so that's a good sign. Pledge Mage? No, not even a Pledge Mage, okay. I guess we both kept slow hands. Fair enough. Uvilda? I'd rather just cast the Starry Half. I mean, giving your spell suspend is not actually that bad. I mean, your instant or sorcery suspend. It's not really that bad, actually. But this half of it is just really terrible. Playing the Nasari part is just way better. And we'll just keep up Snakeskin Veil and Eureka Moments. Is he seriously going to block here and trade? I mean, and give me a free kill? Okay. So he's going to put Suspend on the Prophecy, I think. Still slow, you know. Ooh, Elemental Masterpiece. Actually, that's not too bad, since that's a pretty scary card. So thank God for Vortex Runner, just giving me some win cons in this deck. But he's not doing much here, so maybe I can just outvalue him in a sense. Seiko can divide by 0. Yeah, we can always just divide by 0 the Elemental Masterpiece to set it back to his hand. That's actually a pretty potent play. For now, I think we just want to Zimone here. Golden Ratio, and then keep up Snakeskin Veil. Drawing 2 here is fine. And Snakeskin Veil is fine, and then we'll eventually get to 8 mana to have a 3/3 evasive threat. Also could have kept the Divide, but I think I want to keep up Divide on the turn he can cast the this Elemental Masterpiece. You may exile instant sorcery card from your hand. Put 3 Hone counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, if this card's exile, remove a Hone counter. When the last counter is removed, if it's exile, you may cast it. It costs 4 less to cast this way. Okay, so I definitely want to keep up Divide for the Elemental Masterpiece next turn. Otherwise, he can just cast it almost for free, and that's kind of bad. I can also give my Vortex Runner Hexproof here. Don't see a reason to, because he can still just double block, and that's going to become a problem, so I think that's fine. And we should keep up Divide by 0. And Snakeskin Veil, if possible. So I definitely like the Apprentice here. If I play the Scourge Colony, I can get a 4/4 next turn. So I'm probably fine not having Snakeskin Veil up. And this will become a 4/4. And this will become a 3/3. I don't even know if this card is good, honestly. It's just so slow. Sure. I guess he might now try to cast the Elemental Masterpiece. We just want to divide by 0 it. Can I even divide by 0 this? Because can he even cast it? That's the thing. I guess he can cast it for... I think he needs red mana to cast it. That's the only problem. And he doesn't have red mana, so it's not even possible for him to cast it. Yeah, that's a really weird card. I don't know what this guy is thinking. Yeah, he can't even cast it. Jesus, what a wasted card. I guess he can, yeah. That was a weird game, okay. I mean, at least that was kind of like a free win. I was planning to divide it and bounce it back. But that is definitely a weird game. Okay, finally our first win. And our games are definitely very grindy and long and arduous. What do we have here? Fine, okay, opening hand, and then we can keep a Snakeskin Veil for Apprentice. Seems good. Might leave the Scourge Colony, of course. Ooh, Cultivate is nice. How about Apprentice into Cultivate? That seems even better, as long as it doesn't get answered. Yeah, as long as this doesn't get answered, it's great, so I can just draw a bunch of lands and get my deck going. Yeah, this is a good turn for me. Let's cultivate here. Yep. And, yep. Have one of each. Yeah, you definitely want to kill this right now. Leyline Vacation is great. Yeah, let's just keep a Divide and Snakeskin Veil. So some sort of Jeskai spells deck. A Freed Flame Painter. Can I kill that? Not really. I think we have to divide it here. So we can set up a turn with the Leyline Vacation instead. And just waste this whole turn. So then we can fight their Freets with the 6/6 and go from there. Otherwise, this can be really scary if he can just cast spells from his graveyard all day. Hopefully no Rise of Exodus out of nowhere. But I still have a giant fractal token to follow up with. Sure. Hoping I can fight this. I guess I can Eureka Moment and fight. Why is it tapping so much green? I can even put a land in at instant speed. So maybe I should attack with the Scourge Colony first. But there's no guarantee I can get in a land at instant speed. So yeah, I guess we just want to Mage Duel this. And get rid of it now. No thanks. Flame Painter's got to go. Thank God for Snakeskin Veil over Crunch Wrangler. Take that, Jeskai control. Alright, we're almost to diamond. Okay, this hand is not great. We don't have any creatures to fight with. We have really expensive spells. I think we have to mold this. Hopefully the hand we mold isn't as bad. Seems slightly better. Let's try it. I think we can bottom a land since, you know, the emergent sequence gets us a land and the Quandrix Apprentice. So we'll see. Probably just want to leave the Apprentice here so I can just draw more lands off the emergent sequence. If he does get owned though, that's a problem. So I could just emergent sequence first. I get more value off of the Apprentice. I think I'll leave the Apprentice. Like, sure, I'll have 4 mana to maybe double spell next turn, but, you know, I get more value this way. And that way I can also fight away the Scourge Colony after casting the Emergent Sequence or some other problematic creature. Okay, Divide by 0, that sucks. That's a huge setback. Can I fight this off with 2 counters on it? It's not unreasonable. I just want lands. As much as I like to just double spell next turn, I think I need to get lands in this deck going, so hopefully he doesn't fight this or interact with this again. Definitely no blocks. Because this is going to allow me to hit my land drops, which is very important. Cultivator, sure. Okay, just more lands. This is going to be a pretty difficult creature to deal with. Definitely need to fight the Scourge Colony, I think, since I wish we got a force off the top. But I think we need to still fight off the Scourge Colony while I can, since it's just going to become a scary 4/4 creature. Just need to get my lands here. I guess I could have also played another forest and fought the Quandrix Cultivator. So maybe that was a bad misplay for me. Yeah, I should have just thought that. This is just going to become a big beefy ground creature, and I might just get run over now, but we'll see. I'm hoping I can just get all this land value out of the way. Ether Helix, okay, that sets me back a bit. Yeah, that does set me back a bit, I hate to say it. Yeah, we'll just play the Simone here, and then pass a turn. It's not great. I'm taking a little bit too much damage from this other Quandrix player. I might just have to chump eventually if I keep taking these hits. Yeah, he's playing to load up counters on this. I guess I'll just take 5 here. And then eventually get the ley line to fight this, hopefully. A fight spell, yep. I'll just take 6. It's not the worst. But at least I made him load up the counters. And hopefully no bounce spells or anything left in his hand. I just want to fight this 5/6 away. And then just thin out my deck and hopefully find some more action. If he has Burying Books, then I'm just screwed here. I'm really screwed. Aerialist, that's also a problem. As much as I hate to say it, I think Aerialist is the bigger problem. I do want to fight this Cultivator, but unfortunately, yeah, the Aerialist is going to be the biggest issue, so I think we just need to cast a Mage Duel now and get rid of this. And yeah, we'll just pay the ward. Not waste any more time. And we, yep. I mean, it's not like those spells were great anyways. So we can at least keep up Arcane Subtraction if he has his own fight spell on the 7/7 to at least survive. I can at least Arcane Subtraction, I guess, and get the Fractal Summoning online if possible. This could be a Restorative Outburst where he gets back 2 permanents. Or Regrowth. Regrowth would be pretty bad here since he can get back Ether Helix and bounce my Fractal token. Which is basically holding, preventing me from getting destroyed here, so it's fine. Intro to Annihilation, not what I want to see. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit rough. Intro to Annihilation is definitely scary. So he's going to cast it next turn. I can maybe use Arcane Subtraction to buy a turn. And then hopefully get a Fractal out to block again. But yeah, Professor Zoomancy was a really nice pickup here. So we can Arcane Subtraction the Quandrix Cultivator, maybe set up a double block. I think that's our only way out. Okay, we definitely need something against this Fractal Summoning. Luckily, we might have more lands than the opponent, so we can make a bigger Fractal Summoning than him. So he's going to use Intro on the 6/6, we can double block on the 5/6 and take it out. We can even chump with the Pest Token. But I might want this Pest Token to chump his Fractal Summoning instead. Sure. Ooh, Harmonize is great. So I'm probably going to chump the 4/4 double block the 5/6 and take it from there. Because this Quandrix Cultivator is going to be a problem. And hopefully no tricks. Land is good. Fractal Summoning is good. Field Trip for more lands, so yeah, he's gonna have a pretty large Fractal Token, so I should be careful here. So this might just be the turn for me to draw cards, or at least gain some life, but I think I need to Harmonize. And yep, get more lands. And even more lands, okay. And do I swing both? I'm not against it. Trading here isn't the worst. You know, I'm fine taking 4 actually. So how large is this going to be? So I do have a Mage Duel in the deck that can deal with this still. So an 8/8, how large are we going to be? I guess also an 8/8, I think I like that. Should be fine. And we also have a Death Toucher on defense. I hate missing out on these cards with the Quandrix Apprentice. Ooh, but Mage Duel is going to be on top so I can fight the 8/8 and start applying pressure. So next turn I can make another 8/8. Yeah, I can make another 8/8 and then use Mage Duel. And I'm fine sending these two. And I can also divide by 0 on the Needlethorn Drake and then swing with all next turn for lethal. This trade is actually not bad. It's Snakeskin Veil, wow. So the Quandrix Apprentice basically got all my lands. Manifestation stage making absolutely nothing. Doesn't really matter. And we should be able to win this. Wow. Very long grinding matchup. Also very close. Too. Wow, and finally, we're diamond rank. Jesus. So we're already close to hitting Mythic the first day. I can easily grind a Mythic if I do nothing but play today, of course. But that's going to require a lot of time, and I'm getting a little bit tired. So, anyways, yeah, this video's we still need to finish this draft. So let's continue. 3-1 still. Wow, these Quandrix decks are definitely very grindy and long. Okay, Cultivate. It's not the worst, but it's also not a great hand. I think it's okay. It can help us ramp and get our big elemental tokens, hopefully. We do need to learn into them, of course. At least the Silverquill deck isn't doing anything. Just grab a blue and a green, of course. Should be okay. Then we can play land and then ramp, or we can play Harmonize and draw a million cards. Golem is scary. Just drew another land. You know what? Let's play land and ramp. Okay, say go. Opponent's not doing much, at least. Which isn't great. But then again, I'm not doing much either. If he has a removal spell, I'm actually fine with this. Sure. I lose an island. Would be... Ooh, Quandrix Pledge Mage. Do I just Quandrix Pledge Mage and Golden Ratio? I'm not actually against that. Although it's pretty underwhelming. I hate to say it. I can make a 3-3, draw a card. It's kind of underwhelming, but maybe I still do it. Maybe I should wait until I Harmonize first, not sure. But maybe this can hold back the Reflective Golem. Basically, I just need to stabilize. There's no reason to block this either. It's obviously a combat trick. Okay. Let's cast Harmonize. Ooh, Snakeskin Veil is great, so I think I want to play the Quandrix Apprentice first. And then if he tries to use some sort of trick, I'll just use Snakeskin Veil to give it indestructible and hexproof. For a Silverquill deck, you shouldn't be doing absolutely nothing at the end of every turn. Probably see like a show of confidence here. But I'm about to have my 4/4 and my Vortex Runner online. Yup. And he's just going to copy the show of confidence. Makes sense. So he's going to have a pretty big boy here. Hopefully we can outrace him. Do I just put the Apprentice in front of this? Like, maybe it's fine taking 4 still. And hopefully I don't get cheesed. At least the Death Toucher is nice. Yeah, let's just move to combat here and see what's up. Maybe a Study Break. Actually, don't mind just giving this hexproof if that's the case. Sure. I guess he wants to learn twice. Okay, I mean, I actually don't mind him learning twice. Should be okay here. I mean, I do want to just keep up Snakeskin Veil, honestly, for like a real removal spell. Like, for example, if he has something like Rise of Exodus, that can be kind of scary. So I'm fine with this stupid shenanigans. I should be able to put a Death Toucher to halt his progress. And keep up Snakeskin Veil to protect whatever key creatures I need alive. Surprised he didn't tap my Quandrix Apprentice, so I can still attack for 2. Which isn't too bad. So Needlethorn Drake is important. I'll just run out the whole team. And even the 4/4. So this turn he's just going to put a bunch of counters onto this. I can keep swinging for 3. I should keep up the Snakeskin Veil to deal with the Reduce to Memory or Rise of Exodus here. Golden Ratio would have been great here, but I think I need to just draw the card off of it. Pretty underwhelming, but you know, sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. So thank God for Snakeskin Veil. This card's a lifesaver. So he's going to copy it here. Luckily he can't make it unblockable, at least. So he's kind of going all in. Mage Duel. I could try to Mage Duel this. That's actually kind of funny. You know what? Let's actually try it here. I mean, he can gain hexproof, but who cares? I just want to get rid of this. And if he has a trick, then I'll just... Ooh, Beaming Defiance, okay. Sure, I can't hexproof his hexproof. At least Beaming Defiance is gone. And I still get to draw a card. And still attack for 3. And Snakeskin Veil is really nice. These campuses can really help because the campuses can actually. I'm hoping there's no way he can make this unblockable at least. So it needs to be power 3 or less. So at least I'm happy baiting out the Beaming Defiance. Sure. I mean, eventually he's just gonna run out of resources and I can just kill him. That's annoying. I actually don't mind that resolving. You know what? Yeah, actually I don't mind that resolving. And then I also don't mind just double blocking this reflective golem. And then we can keep up the hexproof on for the Quandrix Pledge Mage here. And that's fine. Had to bomb a Eureka moment, unfortunately, and then we can still double block the reflective golem. So he's out of removal spells, I can still double block this crap. Okay, Kelpie guy's great, so now that can lock down the 8-9, hopefully. Yeah, he's just dead here, right? I can even chump for a turn and then use Kelpie Guy to tap down the 8-9. And I should be fine. I mean, I can even tap the Reflective Golem and just attack, but I'm not sure if I want to do that. That's a little bit too risky, I think. So yeah, this is the problem with decks that try to go all in with a single Reflective Golem. It never usually works. Okay, I mean I can still jump this Quandrix, this Reflective Golem. It's not the worst. Let's say I tap this down, I attack with all. He jumps to 7/7, well he's just dead anyways. So maybe it's fine just tapping this down, but it's a little bit scary too. Let's say he has instant speed interaction, then that's going to become a problem. Silverquill command, wow. Wow, I guess he can't copy it. I think I'm chumping this. It's a little bit too scary. And I'm fine attacking with these three, since that should be lethal. And then I have Professor Zoomancy as well. And damage is on stack, so this should be lethal here. Yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah, he can target twice, but my reach creature, I was able to just defend. So pretty interesting match. Like, counters are powerful, don't get me wrong, but if they get bounced, but if your creature gets bounced or, like, killed, it just feels really bad. So it's almost like a 3-for-1 on your own creature, or even a 4-for-1, so not a big fan of auras in general. That's, you know, unless they at least produce some value, like generating a creature after playing it, or totem armor. So currently 4-1, so our records are good. We can try to get to 7. Not sure if this deck is a 7-win deck though. There's not, there's like no real bombs in this deck. It's just consistent and strong and fine for the most part. Okay, but your 3-drops into Eureka Moments. It's not the worst. It's not amazing either. I'll keep. Maybe we're playing against a slow start again, okay? I like facing against these slow start opponents. They just give me so much time. Curates, okay. But maybe he has a better late game than me, who knows? Ooh, a teach by example, geez, that's scary. So that implies he has his land drop, a Teamer deck. Ooh, Cody. Yeah, Cody's just going to be very scary for me to deal with. Do I want to bring out a Kelpie guy in front of Cody? Probably not. Get me a Vortex Runner instead. Yeah, Cody's probably just going to win him the game if he can just tap this and make a million mana and fire off all cylinders. Practical research into maybe even a heated debate. Wow. So luckily I didn't play my Vortex Runner into him. But yeah, the Cody deck is pretty fun and definitely something you should consider drafting. Yeah, heated debate on Vortex Runner probably here. And keep in mind that all of his spells go back to the bottom of the library while it takes out the Death Toucher. Interesting. Yeah, let's just attack for 2. It'll turn use Eureka Moment, but yeah, Cody is definitely a bomb. Plus we can't even fight him. He might even be keeping up a counterspell here. Yeah, this card is just really good in the right deck. Definitely not great if you're in the wrong deck, but definitely great if you're in the right deck. I might just play double 3-drop next turn. Hopefully no negates or counter spells. So I think I need to do this. Yeah, he probably has a counter spell here with Cody, and then he can also cascade it. So gross. He can just make a bunch of elemental tokens next turn as well. Why is he thinking about countering this? Come on, let it resolve. Let me have my game of Magic, please. Yeah. It's not the worst. Very interesting play, though. I think I'll still main phase it. Because we need some lands here. I'm hoping I can maybe find a mage duel to go along with this. And he can now make a giant fractal token and also cascade off of it, so this is really nutty. A 5/5 already, Jesus Christ. And he gets to get more 5/5s with Cody, yeah. Yeah, this is no joke. Yeah, I think he wins. Yeah, I can't beat Cody here, it's just too strong. Am I back to Dumpster Platinum? I think I am. But at least we have above average win rates, at least 4 and 2 right now. Just need a couple more wins, of course, to get to 7. Four and 2. Let's keep this up. I think we can make it. Just have to believe and not face against Cody right away with 0 removal. Containment Breach would have been a pretty good sideboard card against Cody, I guess. But I mean, just playing him out on turn 3 is just so backbreaking, especially if you don't have an answer to it immediately. It just spirals out of control. Okay, seems okay-ish. I would like some 2s. I'm hoping I get my 3rd land drop. It's kind of slow with all these clunky 3-mana spells, but definitely keepable. I might lead with Kelpie Guide in order to untap the land. And have at least some extra mana for usage. Okay, so maybe Silverquill. It's gonna be scary. Well, Remorse is not the worst. Divide by 0 was a really nice pick. Probably just want to play out my Kelpie Guide to ramp. Reflective Golem again. We're like facing against the same opponent that we did last time. Yeah, let's get... I don't want to put Kelpie Guides in harm's way. I think she's going to be better in the late game. I think I'm fine just curving it out 3-drop into 4-drop here. Is there any reason to block this? Probably not. Fine blocking a 2/3 if he decides to attack with it. He probably has like a Professor's Warning or some ways to give it like a counter, which can be pretty annoying. Especially with the Hall of Oracles. Yeah, Hall of Oracles is going to be a problem, so maybe I should just triple block it. Do I triple block the Reflective Golem? I think I might just do that. It's just too scary. Let's say as a Beaming Defiance. Beaming Defiance we can still block and trade for it. Beaming Defiance will make this into like a 5/5, so I'm fine still double blocking this, I guess. Because this is going to be pretty scary if he can double counters onto his flyer. Well, I guess he's going to put on just Combat Professor anyways. So he probably has a Beaming Defiance here, so I can't fight off the Combat Professor. That's really bad for me. He has easily a Beaming Defiance here. I think I still go for it here, otherwise I don't think I'm winning. Let's concede here if he has it. Okay, the fight happens, thank God. Okay. Now we can pass a turn and then hopefully not get run over. Hall of Oracles is so scary. Eliminates, sure. Maybe a Lash to finish this off. Study Break, okay, I'll just chump the 2-3 maybe, or just take it, I don't mind. At least he's using it here. Intro to Annihilation, not bad, okay. Think I'm just gonna chump the 1/1 token if he attacks with it. I think he just wants to load up counters on his Reflective Golem as well. I'm missing my land drops, which isn't great. I guess he can intro and put a counter now, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, he can just put counters now. Top deck second Mage Duel could maybe save my butt. Yeah, I'll block here. Emergence Sequence, okay, I definitely need the ramp. Yeah, as much as maybe Kelpie Guide is better, more mana efficient. Maybe I just have to take the hit from the Reflective Golem again. Because he's going to use it on the Professor and then put a counter on it. I'm also fine double blocking this if he doesn't put a counter onto this. If he puts a counter on his flyer, I'd rather have him do that. Sure. So now he can put a clock on me with the flyer. Yeah, this flyer is going to become a nuisance. Yeah, I need a Scourge Colony or a Mage Duel to fight this off. It has a 3-turn clock now, so we're almost dead. Guaranteed. We might even have a Professor's Warning to speed up the clock as well, who knows. Mage Duel, please. Can I Mage Duel this Inkling token, please? Golden Ratio isn't bad, though. Although it's also not amazing, so what can I do here? I could Emergence Sequence, untap the land, Golden Ratio, and then maybe chump. I can also Quandrix Pledge Mage, untap, land, Emergence Sequence. Actually, that isn't bad too. Maybe I need the card draw instead, not sure. That's definitely a weird turn here. Maybe I just need to hopefully top deck into a don't think it matters forest or island here. Probably see a Lash of Malice on the Quandrix Pledge Mage. Yep. But at least I can get a land going here, which we desperately need. It's not great. So he's probably gonna use intro on my 4/3, and then I'm forced to chump the Reflective Golem. I can still maybe draw 2 and then maybe fight the 3/2 flyer, hopefully. This isn't great by any means. Probably need to chump the reflective golem here. We're just missing too many land drops, that's the problem. I mean, still draw 2. Yeah, we're definitely chumping here. And then we need to use, we need to find a mage tool to take out the 4/3. But if we do, it's still not great since it's just going to result in a trade. But maybe I can still chump for one more turn and survive. Alright, so here it goes. Here goes nothing. And we get absolutely nothing, so yeah, good games. Alright. Yeah, this draft was weird, just 0 campuses, and at least I guess I'm still at Diamond Tier rank 4. So anyways, I think that about wraps it up. This is going to just be the first video for my climb to top 10 Mythic, which I'm hoping I can complete in maybe a couple more days. I do have work, of course, and I'm kind of tired, so... Alright, yep, let's claim our prize. Still got 14k gems, but yeah, that draft was a little bit weird. Didn't get the most optimal Quandrix deck, 0 campuses, even got a lot of fight spells, but not a lot of late game powerful like bombs to curve out into. But anyways, yep. Ooh, Professor Onyx. Yep. Anyways, yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I'm going to make a part 2 video later, but right now I'm just tired. I need to get some sleep. And yeah, thanks, and have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.